Ooh, are we live? I think we're live. Ooh, I gotta hit the button. Hit the button? Yeah, I hit the button. Ooh, wait, I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a minute. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Four Letter Nerd, a Hyro Geek X Unlimited production. And it's somebody's fault, but not mine. So I just want to say that right now. But anyway, we've got a great show lined up for you today. Because today, I want to talk about what we're going to talk about first. And then I'll bring in on our host. So today, we're going to do something that we should have been doing for the last couple of years, but we haven't. We're doing our first live ranking of film franchises. These are going to be beloved and or hated movie franchises that we're now going to rank live in front of you, the viewer. And we are definitely going to want your input because we're going to lambast and skewer your sacred cows. It's going to happen. So get ready. I hope you're ready. So anyway, so to bring him on first, because I'm feeling generous, it's my brother from another mother. He always goes last and or makes me go last. But let me start changing my ways and his ways. Let me bring him in first. Mr. Michael Mann.
Super petty. That's me. super petty. That's you. What's up, brother?
What's up? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. It feels great to be back, man. Every week. It's like we take a vacation.
I mean, it's a week in between your work days, and you only work for 2 hours, so it's not bad.
I like it.
If only we could find a way to get ourselves paid, then we'd be golden.
You know, don't tell Bergie. He be out here collecting that unemployment from us.
Look. What he does on his days off is no business of ours.
Allegedly.
Throwing that thing back, throwing his back out. Just saying.
It's called pound cake for a reason, ladies and gentlemen.
So, as we speak about our lovely third co-host, Mr. Michael Bergie, he's the man with the cake, the man with the fluff, the man with that junk in the trunk. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the ever voluptuous Michael Bergie.
Bring out that cream.
Why do I feel like you guys cut a wrestling promo for me? And I got Mean Gene Okerlund over here and the Howard Fink over here too doing it. You know,
you're welcome.
That's technically what it turned into because I'm gonna announce him, and then I'm like, wait, let me just got WWF with it.
I don't think at least you can. I think I started a trend where if you introduce Michael Bergevine, you have to make it fluffy and you have to make it dramatic.
Yeah, it's the way it is now. It seems like, you know.
You're welcome.
I'm okay with it, you know.
Okay. As long as you know.
I'm pretty sure the fans expect it, and if you don't, they're gonna be upset. So
right, and we don't need to upset the fans.
No, they'll riot at noon. You know, they ain't waking up before then. Come on now.
Actuals.
All right, so gentlemen, your thoughts on today's topic. What do you think your holy cows and your holy grails are going to land on this list? Because we all three have to agree on where they go.
Oh, that's gonna be tough. We're gonna be battling.
We're gonna be battling. Yeah, you know.
We're gonna be battling because
But
you
I'm
know
ready.
damn well. Because you know damn well there's something that I know is like near and dear to my heart. But Mayhem would be like, really? No. And
I
you know
like
damn
how
well
it went for me. I like how this is already turned for me. You know what? F for everybody. F.
but no, me and you have had that like in the past, like a couple of movies or something like that,
Yeah.
and you just look at me like, dude, I wouldn't even do that through hood release. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you know, and I know
stand
that.
by that.
So I'm intrigued to see what's gonna come up in the the comments here and see what people are gonna talk about and see what you're gonna say and what we're gonna land on. It's gonna be interesting.
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
It's all good. It's what we like about it.
All right, I'm ready though.
Are you ready? All right. Oh,
Mhm.
go ahead.
I was gonna say big shout out to Kat. She's out here doing her thing.
Yes.
We miss you this week. We hope to see you next week, nonetheless. But we get to talk to you nonetheless, so we get to see your preface whenever we want. To an
This
extent.
is true. All right. So, gentlemen,
Mhm.
there's only one series that I have to get out of the way first. I'm sure you can guess what it is, but
Yeah.
it has to get out of the way first so we can have proper discussion on everything that comes after.
Let's do it.
And that, of course, is the trilogies. And we're doing the trilogies in order. So
Okay.
first up, prequel trilogies. Where do you place them? We've got S rank, top tier, must watch. A tier, good stuff. Watch it when you can. B tier, okay, watch it sometime. C tier, I mean, I guess you can watch it. D tier, I'll watch it maybe at some point. F tier, trash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
wish
intrigued with this.
Yeah, I wish you had the I know it's too much, but I wish you had a label on the bottom too. But no worries. I think we got this.
We'll figure it.
Yeah,
We'll get it.
we got the old man brain.
You know?
Back in my day, 2 + 2 was 4. Why do I got a -5?
That 4 identifies as a 5.
And I identify as bugs. Bugs Bunny.
Facts.
This is true. All right, gentlemen, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. We've had 30 years to reminisce on them. Where do they go?
Wait. Episode 1 of
Star Wars.
Let me use.
So we're talking the Phantom Menace.
Yes, the Phantom Menace.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
See, I didn't even put that in my
so
list.
the fight scenes were dope. I think the third movie really brought up the whole series. Honestly, Jar Jar Binks not being a Sith totally hurt us. Totally hurt us, and it should have been. What was C again?
C is, I guess you want to watch it. It's like in school. You want A through F, but S means it's God tier. It means you got to watch it.
I would give it a C. And the reason why I would give it a C is, like everybody else, I was super excited to start watching it. The first movie, to me, I don't think anybody has ever said this, but drags. It drags. Now, don't get me wrong. The fight scene, amazing. But then the setups were just like, and then Jar Jar Binks. Like, another highlight of that movie, if I'm not mistaken, was the racing. The pod racing. Yeah, the pod racing. I think, hear me out. It was good when you first saw it, and then after that, it's like a one-trick pony. It's all right, Bessie. Like, you got anything else with that broken foot? Like, come on. Like, I say C because you do have to watch it to understand the movies to come. 1, 2, and 3, and to an extent, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, that's what I would say.
I mean, if you're going back, like we're going back on that when that came out in like 99 to 2006. That was like our Star Wars, where 78 was the original trilogy. So to be able to see how it all started, to get that background lore, and basically prove that now we know why Obi-Wan is the effing man, you know, and we, you know, I mean, the Duel of the Fates, that sound, that music with the first one where you get Darth Maul as the Sith and the way they did it. Yeah, I will agree with Mayhem. It did drag a little bit. I thought the Naboo storyline was kind of like a little weak, and that's where, you know, stuff like that. And then the Gungans and stuff. And then we don't get the Darth Jar Jar, but we still know he's Darth Jar Jar. Let's be honest. You know, and to lead from that to go into all the others and to see where we saw Sidious come into play, how they did Anakin's growth from what he was, what turned him to the dark side, basically the death of his mother, killing all those Tusken Raiders, stuff like that. And the last movie, come on, that battle at the end, we're watching, Jango Fett's head get cut off by Mace Windu. Well, sorry, Mace. Samuel L. Jackson just showed why he was the baddest mofo in the galaxy. Like everyone thought Lando was, but Mason, nah, sorry, hold my beer, hold my bantha milk here.
Right.
I kind of agree with Mayhem on this. I think C is that right spot if you're looking for trilogies of these to go with. I think it's in that. If we're talking Star Wars trilogies, I say C is definitely where it should be. Okay, that's my opinion. I agree.
Fair enough.
I agree.
All right. Well, and then I agree with the both of you because it's a good starting point. It doesn't have. I think it doesn't have the nostalgia that the original trilogy has for me because I got to see it as an adult. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't me, a kid, watching this like, oh man, look at all this stuff, man. I wish I could have seen it when it came out. And then the prequels came out, and I actually waited in line, first showings, like we were there 4 hours early in line for all three of them, and they were good, but they weren't what I was expecting. And it's because it was too new at the time to have the nostalgia of the original trilogy.
No,
but as time went on, I got to see it for what it was and learn the lore behind it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, I see that. It was bad writing, good acting.
Yes, I'll give you that.
Not that great.
I'll give you that. Yes,
put in there.
I just want to say, and they did certain things like they added at the end of what was the third one of the original Return of the Jedi? Was that the one? The third one?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yes. So they added Hayden Christensen, whatever, the guy who played Anakin. They added him at the end, waving. That was dope. When you got the DVD, they added little things.
No.
I thought it was. It's just attention to detail.
No. As a purist, that should never happen.
As that version of Anakin. He died as an old wrinkly white guy.
I hear you, but I guess they wanted you to remember him in like a neutral but angelic.
I think they wanted when he was still good.
Yes, that's what I was saying. But he was still kind of new. He was still kind of dealing with some things. That's what I took it as. I'll say this: we should move on because we're gonna have so much to say. It's crazy that we've all fumbled in a sense to find something outstandingly good about this series, except for the fight scene, right? Insidious, Mace, not Mace. What's his name? The one that said the first one. We just said his name. Darth Maul. I'm sorry. And of course, the biggest fight, Obi-Wan versus Anakin. You know what I'm saying? Those were like the best. There were other fights in between, but there was nothing, especially that first episode, nothing outstanding. That's like if you went out that movie theater, what was great about the movie? The fight scene. And what else?
That was about it.
Political intrigue, the social commentary.
And that's another thing too. Like I understand that the political aspect of Star Wars needs to be emphasized because that's what's really setting down everybody through a turmoil. But the way it was done is like, Can we talk about anything else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like it was boring. It wasn't so there was some
even the evil person in the galaxy wanted to rule the the house.
Right. Wait, okay. How about this? We totally forgot. What about the Yoda moments? What about Yoda fighting? Those were great. We were all hyped about it, even though it wasn't as long, which makes sense to an extent. But like that's a great moment that we didn't just be like, boom, this. So my thing, true. C, for 500, Alex.
All right. So next on the chopping block, the original trilogy: Star Wars: A New Hope, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
I'm gonna let Bergie go first.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do too. Good call.
See, now this is where the love of sci-fi came into play for a lot of people in their world, and that's why I think this is where
also
I hate to say
fantasy.
Yeah, sci-fi, fantasy, the love of sci-fi, everything and anything like swords and outer space and spaceships and weird creatures and characters. This was the movie that I did. If it wasn't Star Trek, for our parents, this was it where it started for everybody. This is also where I think the toxicity of this fandom comes into play, is because of these 3 movies.
Yes.
If you got to go with anything to do with Star Wars, anything like that, I feel that this is like an A tier that you have to. It's like one of those ones you got to watch it if you want to understand everything that comes after this, and anything to do with like the new Star Trek stuff, the new Star Wars stuff. Even you're looking at the Matrix, some stuff like that from this came from these type of stories and what they did with their action sequences, their way they did the filming of certain things, like a sneaker was a Y-wing or something, lightsabers. Look at this also, like Tron came because of this movie, Blade Runner because of these movies, stuff like that. So this is where I think changed cinema history and knowing everything going after that. I say that this is an A tier. Okay. Plus, we got one of the baddest villains of all time that we thought of in Darth Vader, and one of the baddest like bounty hunters that only had 6 lines and a total of like 8 minutes in this movie, and he is regarded as one of the greatest bounty hunters ever 45 plus years later.
Yep.
Like these movies gave us some hype on other stuff. So this to me, I think would be like an A tier.
Mayhem.
It's funny you say that, because there's this series called Naruto. In Naruto, there's this. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it all together.
Yeah, he's gonna bring it back in. He's gonna. I know him. I have faith.
A clan called Uchiha clan, right? And everybody knows who Itachi is, right? Itachi is the GOAT, right? But Itachi had a friend who ended up sacrificing himself. If you know the name, you know what I'm talking about. And this man literally did maybe 2 feats, and they were like, "Oh, he's the best. If he had lived, he'd have been one of the greatest." I don't know, fam, because the way he went out was on some sucker shit. Sorry. I mean, he gave up and he lost an eye to somebody, arguably, you know what I'm saying, who was pulling the strings, but was weaker than him. And then he gave the other eye and killed himself, to kind of like help Itachi do things. Anywho, I'm going to disagree and say B. Here's why. While I do agree, Bergie has great points. You need to watch this to understand, number one, the impact it had, to understand where it all started. If you're a fan of nostalgia, which I think most of us are anyway, the nostalgia of seeing it all, you know what I'm saying? This, and to kind of just get where so much greatness could have been, excluding the books, because the books were greatness, and Disney just said, you can kind of see the white horse that Lucasfilms Disney was chasing for years to come. Now, unfortunately, there's some plot holes. There's some things that didn't make sense, right? Does it hurt the franchise? No. But the reason why I said it's a B is because episode 1, 2, and 3, 7, 8, 9, to me personally, aren't as great as this. So it drags the whole series, the whole franchise down. So I get that we're only supposed to do 4, 5, and 6, but for me, it could have been an A if the others were good. The others weren't. So now I'm just like, you just got to watch this, and then that's it.
The reason I still go with an A, though, is I still say Empire Strikes Back is still one of the best sequels that's ever been made for a movie. Okay. And that's where, and it like, the first movie came out, and it was like, oh, man, that's Darth Vader, this, that, you introduced character. And then part 2 came out, and it was better than the first. Usually sequels don't surpass the first one. So that's why I say it's an A. The third one had its moments, had some cool stuff, the Starlight Pat and everything, but it definitely drops the overall thing. They always seem to screw up the third movie in every franchise that we know. A lot of them are horrible in the 3.
Come back to me. I may change my mind because I just thought of something, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. So for me, I have to agree with Bergie. It's an A because it is Star Wars. This is where a lot of people's geekdom came from. Because literally, if you watch this and you're like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever, that's your geek origin story right there. If you watched it later on VHS or DVD or Blu-ray or Laserdisc or whatever, you're like, oh my God, this is that. And there goes your geek.
I feel like I just got called out on every single one of those versions of having it.
Look, I'm sure you've owned at least most of those. So
Everyone but Laserdisc.
really,
Yeah, Laserdisc never had.
okay, yeah, but for me, it's an A because this is Star Wars. This is that quintessential science fantasy, science fiction movie series that you watch this and you know that if this is what we've got to offer from back in the 70s and 80s, it can only get better from here. And for the most part, it did. Not just Star Wars. I mean, all of sci-fi.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I fall back.
It can only get better from here, and it did.
And obviously, the special effects got better because obviously technology changed, whatnot, stuff like that. So,
listen, I still think it's. I heard your thing. I still think it's B material, B plus, A minus. And not for nothing, there are movies that help it, like Rogue One. The ending of Rogue One helps this.
Oh God, yes.
If we had gotten a scene like that, I'm just saying, So I will fall back. I still think it's a B, but I will leave it at
it's
A.
It's a high B, low A for you.
Oh yeah,
fair enough.
I can see that.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So I'm just gonna set this down here where everyone's gonna agree that it goes.
I have no problems with that being below there for all of them, honestly.
Listen, it had a strong start. We had a lot of cameos. Which I was look, Daniel Craig, right? Daniel Craig as a stormtrooper, and even the stormtrooper armor, the general, whatever he was, to help with lightsaber. I was dope to see that in future movies used, right?
Right.
Never
happened.
Right. Ray.
Bro, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Let me tell you why I have this at the letter D. I'll sum this all up in one whole sentence from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, Palpatine has returned. Bitch, what?
No.
What? Somehow? How do you even know this, Paul? You weren't in the Outer Rim. What? Exactly. I feel the same way, Jordy.
We're with you, kid. We're with
Sorry.
you. That's all good.
Come on, baby. She wants to say a piece.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a car. Okay. Dad, I'm going to shut my mic off. Good.
That's all. I was going to say the first one had a couple of key scenes in it that was kind of cool. We got some cool nostalgia. It reminded you of, A New Hope. But then after that, it just kind of lost me on some stuff. Like the fight scene with Kylo Ren versus Obi-Wan. All right, that wasn't bad. It was good. But when she shows up with the lightsaber, and I remember talking to my little brother about this, and I said,
Obi-Wan, you mean?
Oh, sorry, no, Obi-Wan. Rey with Luke Skywalker when she was on that island and she went to hand him the lightsaber, and I made a joke with my brother. I said it's gonna be funny if he throws the lightsaber away. Just joking. And then the movie came out and he grabbed it and he threw it away. And I was just like, my brother called me the second he got out of the movie theater, like, I so hate you right now. You were spot. I was like, I just was jokingly thinking that. That to me right there meant that Disney didn't give a shit about the franchise. And they were like, yep, you're old. We don't care anymore. And that's it. And I felt like that was the way the next two movies went.
There's a downhill. Mark Hamill doesn't do great press for these movies at all. He's like, that's not what Luke learned from the first three movies at all. Even if you exclude the books, that's not what he learned.
Nope.
I agree. It should be D. Here's why. First of all, some of the fight scenes were amazing. The fact that Rey was able to handle a lightsaber in the first movie was a great explanation, which was like, but then we kind of like, okay, she's force induced. She's force adjacent at the very least, right? Right? And then we're like, all right, so she's definitely somebody who can use the force. Then here comes Finn, right? And he was able to use lightsaber. We're like, oh, another force adjacent person. And a black.
Where'd that story go? Nowhere.
Well, we thought.
And this man is the biggest person on his poster. The biggest person on his poster goes nowhere. Well,
they are doing a new series with Daisy Ridley, so who knows if he may make appearance or so. Who knows?
John's mad at this. I don't think he's coming back.
I don't think so either. But then he's also, if we're going to be honest, and we're going to have this conversation, he also was very loud during the Black Lives Matter movement, excuse me. And although companies like, yeah, we're on your side, you kind of seem difficult now to work with. The kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? So I can see. I'm not saying he's blacklisted, but maybe blacklisted from Disney with Star Wars
for quite some time.
Right. So, but I still think he's a phenomenal actor. I still think he did his thing. When episode 1 ended, we were like, does he love Ray?
Right? That's what everybody was thinking. No, I'm force sensitive. Like, why? Why would you drag it out like that?
Okay, but I'm willing to do that because here's the thing. As we come to find out in the Star Wars series, what they do is they find kids who are force sensitive, generally slaves. I'm just saying, generally slaves, right? And they out here like Genuine with the broom. I love it. I need it. It's always. You don't know what I'm talking about? That's fine.
No, it's not Genuine. No, the scene you're thinking of is Breaking.
No, Genuine got it from too. But
Genuine got it from Breaking too.
All right, so they're using their force powers to do manual labor, right? Right. I got you, Bridge. It's a cultural thing. I got you. I'm gonna add some points to your black card. I got you. But yes, but they find them and they find these children like slaves, right, to do force things, right? And it's like, okay, I understand. Maybe, especially since he was a trooper, he didn't understand what it was, right? Or maybe he did, and he wanted to hide it. We never got the development that should have been for him and being force sensitive. We got another quote unquote Han Solo.
And then, I'm sorry. And then another moment I just thought of.
Hold on, I'm going to take 2 more moments and I'm going to let you run. What killed it for me was Space Jesus, okay? Princess Leia. I understand they wanted to give that woman the proper
Mary Poppins.
I don't know. I don't think Mary Poppins can survive in space.
No, it's more like the flying nun.
Whatever. All right, fine. And then the last battle with Luke, who died to gout. I don't know what it
wasn't gout. He expended too much force energy to project himself across the galaxy, which then led to the draining of the force in his person, which led him to become one with the force.
He didn't have anybody to force heal him.
No,
once again, force healing in the games, not in the lore, movie wise, not TV. The books might have been, if I'm not mistaken. So
it was. But yeah, last point. Rose kissing Finn because she doesn't want him to sacrifice himself. That confused the crap out of me. I'm like, why does she do that? What?
The whole trilogy was a lot of head scratching.
We got a great fighting scene. I think it was in the second movie, the pink room or whatever that was, the magenta room. That was amazing. That was some great cinematics. However,
even though there were some times where you saw those dudes standing around waiting their turn when they could have stabbed either one of them.
Yep.
I'm like, what's that guy doing? He's just sitting there. He could just stab her right now.
Right.
It'd be done.
That's facts. All right, so I think it's fair. D. Yep. Like you can watch it, but don't expect nothing from it.
No. All right, what's next?
All right, next up, I'm going to go random. So I'm going to go with Friday the 13th. All of them together. Where did they go?
Oh. Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
See, now, the first one is such a classic, and it's like, but after that, they all kind of...
They're all over the place.
Cliff.
Are you also including the remake where he runs now?
It just goes up to Jason X.
Oh.
God, for me, it's an F. Like, I am not a huge... I'm sorry.
Oh! All right, no. We start from the bottom. Like Drake, it started from the bottom. Now we here. Please explain.
I don't know. Like Jason has always been one of those ones that always drives me nuts for like the bad guy, the villain. Like you could be running from this dude, get in a car, drive 50 miles at 100 miles an hour, get in an airplane, fly across the country, land, get off of it, and think you're perfectly fine. And here he comes dragging his foot, sliding it bleed. Like, get the F out of here. Like that. Oh my God. Always drove me nuts.
I mean,
never been a Friday the 13th fan. I'm sorry. I love horror movies, but this, if we're going like him, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, something like that, this dude is pushing daisies to me. Like he is nothing for horror wise. I'm sorry.
I think the first two are classics, which help. Remember, the first one was his mom, and the second one was him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yup.
And then there's Jason 10 in outer space. Shut the hell up. Come on.
Dude, we watched that at Hollywood Video right before closing, laughing our asses off. Me and my best friend Tim. We're like, "Are you serious with this right now?"
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it as a D.
Ooh.
Here's why. Here's why. The first two, and although it's not included, the remake that they had where he runs, right? Freddy Krueger and Friday the 13th suffered this thing where producers were creative and their own thing that weren't canon, and it went all over the place. However, if we were to think about it, it's pretty much the same thing. Everybody goes to Camp Crystal Lake, right? They're not supposed to upset Jason. It's a killing spree. It's a one-trick pony. Michael Myers has more to offer than Jason, unfortunately. Freddy Krueger has more. Chucky has more.
Yes. Like to address one of the comments, Hugo. Today we learned that Bergie does not grade on a curve. They've made how many movies? 2 have been good. The rest have been trash.
Oh,
There's no curve.
I will say 2's been good. 1's been okay because Jason 8 Takes Manhattan. That one was okay. The ending was trashed. The ending pissed me right there. Who knew that his weakness was raw sewage?
It's New York City. Come on.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that's everybody's.
I was so excited for the whole movie. I'm watching this and they're like, "Yeah, this is great." I got sad when the black kid was like, "I'm gonna box him." He started. I'm like, "Yeah, get him." Gets his head punched off. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Listen, I don't know if you guys remember this movie, Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, it's on there. Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't really help either series, but I'm gonna count it as a Jason movie with Freddy starring, right? And I love when they cross over. When I think it was Jason 4 or 3.
They did 2 crossovers, right, for Freddy and Jason.
Yeah, because one time when he died in one of them, Freddy's mask came out of hell and grabbed it. You know what I'm saying, from the ground.
Yeah. So it was Jason Goes to Hell, and it was the end of that, and then you just hear the oh, and you see Robert Tan come up, grab it, and pull the mask down.
Robert, he's such a amazing actor.
No.
No, I'm giving it a D because the first 2 help out. The last one, the remake helps out. Everything else just drags it down.
The remake isn't in it. It only goes to Jason.
I'm including it. It's part of it.
It's not in the no. It's not.
Because none of these are canon. None of these are canon. After like the third one, it's only 2, if I'm not mistaken. The third one is on its own. Let me address some of these comments real quick. Okay. First of all, Katarina Themyscira, we miss you. We hope you're having a great time nonetheless. She said Rogue One alone wins it. We agree. I didn't see it's not populated. I would think it's more Space Maria Morena. Fair enough. Kevin said, you're. The galaxy is alive with force of sensitives. Yeah, they're all slaves for the most part.
No, you're saying for the music. The music was
okay, fair enough. But that still doesn't take away. A lot of people were slaves on different planets. It doesn't make any sense. I thought we were out here giving freedom. Today we learned Bergie does not grade on a curve. He does not. I'd rather watch Leprechaun in Space. Did they have
They did that. They did Leprechaun in Space. That was at one point. All the horror movies went to outer space except for like Freddy and like Michael.
God. I stopped after Leprechaun in the Hood. I didn't even
watch that was so good. I love that one.
I didn't watch that one.
Those are like guilty pleasure, stupid movies, though.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My daughter. I would pay to see that. Hello, everybody. It's been a while. Hey, Lala. Pleasure to have you. I think we're all cut up. Oh no, nothing to enjoy, but I love your faces. Oh, we love you too. We miss you. Reggie, go ahead.
All right, so next up, I want to do 3 other quick ones. And I broke this up because it's way too many movies to try to get all into one because they're all over the place. So we're going to start with Phase 1 of Marvel.
Okay.
Mayhem.
Yes.
What is Phase 1 of Marvel for the movies?
Avengers.
It ends with Avengers, and then there's Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Captain America.
All of those.
Yes.
Okay. Mayhem, you're up.
Oh, You know what? I want to look it up actually because I'm trying to think of all the movies. And before I say Robert Downey Jr. is overhyped, which he is, uh, I want to just
that is Marvel Jesus right there.
I don't care. So we got Captain America: The First Avenger. Surprisingly good movie. Surprisingly good movie. I'm not gonna hold you. If I were to give it a grade, an 8 out of 10, honestly. Iron Man kicked it all off. If it's not a 9 out of 10, it's a 10 out of 10. Honestly, Iron Man itself. Believe it or not, the Hulk with
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton is included in this. That was a great movie. If not an 8, a 9, or a 10, it has to fall somewhere. Honestly, Iron Man 2 sucks donkey dick. All right, my daughter's not here, so I can say that. So it's not the worst. It's not the worst, but it's just it doesn't work. Thor. I'm going to say this right now. None of the Thor movies matter. They suck. Except
first one was the best of the three.
Yeah. Oh my God.
One, part 2, Dark World. Dark World was horrible.
That was trash.
Was that the
one? Dark Elves? Yeah. The trash
one. The first one was the one where he faced the metal thing.
Yes.
Okay. Super trash.
Living armor.
I didn't think you enjoyed eating trash. I didn't think that.
No, it was not trash. You need the build-up as to why he is the way he is. We don't have that in live action format.
Hi, my name is Mayhem. I have what's
the Annihilator provided that.
Can I see this? I have this thing called standards. That's all. I'm just saying. I just have for me. It was like he spent 3 movies wondering if he's worthy. I'm gonna come out with a cologne. I'm gonna come out with a cologne with Thor. Are you worthy?
Maybe a lot of people would buy it.
Right. 100%. Well, I'm gonna get sued by Disney.
I did buy the Black Panther cologne. Just saying.
Okay. So then Avengers. So you got out of what's this? My daughter's spinning me. 6 movies. 4 movies out of 6 were really good. I'm going to give this honestly a B. I'm going to give this a B because you have to watch it. It's really good. It's got more good than bad. Great acting, great setup, great fandom to an extent. I listen, I got no problems with it. Just the bad movies that were made. B. Final answer. Say B.
All right.
Mr. B.
You know, to me, it's an A. But the reason I say it's an A, it's because you need to learn the history if you were never a comic book geek. This is where you got your start into the Marvel universe. And a lot of people were not comic book fans, but all of a sudden, like, followed Iron Man because it was Robert Downey Jr. because they saw him in a movie, with the piano and Jamie Foxx or something, and they're like, oh man, I remember this actor. Let me check it out. And that's where you got the fandom that started with that. Started with Chris Evans, we get the Bucky, we get they show the first, Human Torch in that, which was the robot. They show a lot of background. Red Skull, Viggo Mortensen did an amazing job as that. No, not Viggo Mortensen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Viggo.
It was Viggo. It was Viggo. Okay.
No, wait. It was no, not Viggo. That's Aragorn.
It was Aragorn. Yeah, my bad. I can't. The guy that played
Elrond. Yes, Elrond and Agent Smith.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. But we got great actors, and the storyline was great in that. You go to Cap was amazing. Iron Man was great. We get that Jebediah. Hugo Weaving. Thank you. I thought that was great. The Hulk with Edward Norton was way better than the Eric Bana version. Thank God for that. Avengers, to me, when you get to see all of them on screen for the first time and assembled, and we get that as a kid growing up, watching that and reading those books, I never thought I'd see that on TV unless it was in a cartoon or something.
Right.
And then I get
those cheesy 70s movies. God.
Yeah. And you get that. You get that gravity of that moment, and you see him all, and he's sitting there, and he's like, and he's like, looks at Hulk and goes, Hulk, now's the time to get angry. And he's like, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. And he just destroys that flying Chitauri thing. Right. And then you get them, and they all sit around, and he's like, Avengers, assemble. And you get that whole movie theater goosebumps. That, to me, is an A, because it started the foundation to what we got for Infinity War, Endgame, Ragnarok, Winter Soldier, Black Panther. If these movies didn't do what they did, you don't see the rest of these movies. You don't see them at all. If Iron Man flopped, we wouldn't have gotten any of this stuff for another 10 years. They would have just been drowning us in more Spider-Man movies, more Batman movies, more Superman movies. They would never have taken a shot on Marvel. Come on, this started Guardians of the Galaxy, where a tree says I am Groot and a talking raccoon. Come on. We never would have gotten these movies if these 5 or 6 movies did not, yeah. That's why I say it's an A. It's not an S, but
right.
it's an A.
I agree with Bergie. But I agree. I'm a Marvel fanboy, and I'll never cover that up. I'm a
it's
Marvel
Iron
fanboy.
Man.
I got to see this in live action. It was everything that I wanted to see. Yes, Iron Man 2.
Facts, Lala.
It is trash. I get that. It's not the best Iron Man. I'm okay with that. But guess what? There's 4 other movies that hold up this phase of the run, and they're good movies. Like, bruh, I got the Captain America story with Bucky, with the World's Fair. I was like, this is what I'm looking for. Like, this is what it's about. And I was happy for it. And that's why I got to give it an A.
Fair enough. All right, we can leave it at A, even though I still think it's A minus B plus, but I hear you.
All right.
Next, so before he starts grumbling.
Yeah. Phase 2.
All right, so really quick, Phase 2 is.
I got you.
Oh,
Phase 2. Yeah, It is Iron Man 3. This was not going to be so great. Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man. Mayhem. Where's it going?
Oh, is it 6 movies total?
Yep.
Yeah.
6 movies total.
All right, so
3 out of 3.
No, actually, it's 4. If you ask me,
I say 3 good, 3 good, 3 bad.
Okay,
Ooh.
so let's start with you, Bertie.
Okay.
Let's start with you. Which 3 are good and which 3 are bad?
Well, we know the first 2 bad ones. So, is it Guardians or Ant-Man that you think is the 3rd bad one?
Actually, to tell you the truth, I think both of those actually were pretty good. I think they were the start.
Oh, you thought it was Avenger? You thought it was Ultron, Thor, and Iron Man?
No, Iron Man 3 was trash.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
With the extremists. That was bad.
So what are your bad ones, Bergie? Let's go there.
So give it to me again.
It's Iron Man 3.
Trash.
Thor: The Dark World.
Trash.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Fantastic.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think it's fantastic.
Age of Ultron.
That's the one I'm kind of on the thing if it's trash or not.
Okay.
Because they kind of went away from a lot of the story of what we had in the comics.
Well, they have to. You can't follow the comics.
Rest, but if we're gonna be, that's where it killed me a little bit with that one. Was, don't get me wrong, James Spader absolutely fucking killed it as Ultron. Yes, amazing. He did a great job. Some of the plot lines of it I thought was a little bit weak, but the way they did Vision was fantastic. Ant-Man, to me, getting Paul Rudd and playing that comical style character, I thought was a fantastic job. I like that they did that. I just did not like that the Ultron was not part of the prison. And I get it. We couldn't show the negative realm and stuff like that without introducing Fantastic Four yet. So I mean, that's it. That to me was why it was kind of like, all right, so I'll go 4 good, 2 bad. But on the series, on these, it's a high C, low B for me on these out of the series.
You gonna put it on B?
Yeah,
I'm gonna agree on B. First of all,
go with B.
Iron Man 3, as we know, super trash.
Oh my god, that movie was dumb.
But
the extremists.
Robert Downey getting that check. You know what I'm saying? Mr. RDJ, cut that check. You know what I'm saying? Thor, am I worthy?
My girlfriend's got poison inside of her, mom. What do I do?
Whatever. It's just whatever. Arguably the best comic, one of the best, if not the best, one of the best comic book hero movies of all time is Winter Soldier. And you know what? There's so much and so little of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a great movie. It was actually the first movie I've owned from Marvel on Blu-ray because I saw that and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Guardians of the Galaxy, everybody was kind of like about it, and others were like, it's going to be good. We have faith, but we don't know. And it blew us out of our socks. Mm-hmm. It blew us out of, we were here, and it was like, we're up here. We got so much more. All right, I'm going to go skip to Ant-Man. Ant-Man was amazing as well. Ant-Man was funny. It was everything we needed, and it was dope. Age of Ultron. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not like it when I first saw it. I thought it was But then I watched it again. I was like, this is a sleeper movie. This is a sleeper movie. Like if you pay attention to it, you really and you look at it, it is. We got some great moments. First of all, Tony Stark, being problematic as he is, he created Ultron from lying to his friends. The distrust that would end up leading to Civil War and such. Number one. Number two, James Spader. Not Lucy. What is Black Widow's name? I can't remember her actress name.
Natasha, that is
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. I was about to say Lucy something. These are great actors and an actress, if you will, who can act without being on screen. They're great voice actors. Don't believe me? Watch the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix and Black Widow, because I forgot her name already. Amazing. Or maybe she fits a certain type. Whatever. We got a great scene. We got so many great scenes from this, and it was just like it doesn't feel like an adventure movie. It just doesn't. It's not too many brunch and punch and running or whatever. And I was like, this is dope. This is like Bergie said, Vision was done great.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch and Pietro, they got built later on, but it would have been nice to have a little bit of their elements here. But whatever, we got what we got. This was a great sleeper movie, if you ask me. It was a great sleeper movie. Unfortunately, it just kind of like flew under the radar. I'm sorry. So I'm going to say B, 100%.
Okay. And I will agree with you. It's a high B, maybe a low A. Because, dude, Winter Soldier, jeez, I
still think Winter Soldier is one of the greatest Marvel movies they've made.
It is.
Yes.
Hands down. Like, if they could have made any one of those other two trash ones a little bit better, it could have been a low A. But because Winter Soldier just has that draw, Ultron has that draw, and it just lifts it all up. Like, bruh. And then Ant-Man was just hilarious. I'm sorry. Tony Pena, oh my God. He is literally the core. Okay, so see what happened was, and you get this wonderful flashback, and it's great. And
the fans literally asked for a movie where he just did a flashback,
right?
Explain certain things. And if Disney was smart, they'd work on that. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, or at least a TV show where he gets a flashback a week.
Yeah, that'd have been amazing.
Funny.
So I think we're all in agreement. B.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Right, so now is the harder one because this one has way too many movies in it. So this is the Infinity Saga, which has 10 movies in it. And you can't really separate them out because they're all phase 3. It starts with Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther.
No, S. Immediately. S. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, not the movie
you got way too many bangers already, but go ahead.
And you don't even have to go. I agree with him because this is where the series got everybody hooked. And you were down to watch this.
Finish the list, and I'm gonna let you go first, Bernie, and then I'm gonna go. Finish the list. There's a reason. It's an S immediately.
Okay. So Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Virgin, go ahead.
I don't know if I want to go before you because I don't know. So you're coming with the thunder. Go for it.
All right. So first of all, Doctor Strange was an amazing movie. All right. Doctor Strange was an amazing movie. And arguably, if I could be so bold, he has a meh beginning, but they made it into a great thing. The possibilities of the other worlds and things we got to see, the hidden cameos and stuff. Amazing.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Right.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Guardians Volume 2. Guardians Volume 2 was dope. It wasn't as amazing as I would like it to be. If I had to be honest, I think Guardians 2 was the weakest of the 3. The original 3, not the Christmas special.
Guardians 2, the opening scene, was the greatest opening scene we had seen until Deadpool Wolverine. That's all I'm saying.
Fair Fair enough. So
I'll cut it from the inside.
But it's the weakest one, but it was still pretty good. Story, okay, right? So then we got, I'm not going to say it's Homecoming just yet. What else we have? Thor Ragnarok. Finally, A great Thor movie.
You mean World War Hulk?
Yes,
Right.
World War Hulk.
There's the right title for that movie.
Yeah, right.
But it was a dope movie. We loved it, right? What else did we have? Was Black Panther part of that?
Yep, Black Panther.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Black Panther is the first movie ever that I was invested into the soundtrack.
Well, Black Panther was part of Winter Soldier first, then his own movie. We got him there, and he stole Winter Soldier.
Civil War.
Oh, Civil War. Sorry.
Civil War, yes.
No worries. Yeah, no, you're right. He did. I just want to reiterate. They have a soundtrack by Ludwig von whatever. I forgot his name. I do apologize.
Göransson.
I apologize. I'm Ludwig VG. That's what I'll call you. LVG. Okay. I was invested. I knew Killmonger's boom, 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 boom. What? Come on. I knew.
And then you see the throne spinning. Oh.
Still one of their best villains that they cut down way too early.
Well, maybe Michael B didn't want to do that anymore. He wanted to get his.
I'm hoping the multiverse. He's somewhere coming back.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel arguably was the weakest movie of.
I can agree.
Ant-Man and the Wasp I was hyped about, particularly Captain Marvel. I was super hyped about. I was like, it's going to knock. It was Louis Vuitton. Yes.
Louis V.
Yes, and Black Panther is another fave. Gave me goosebumps. I was super excited for Captain Marvel. I thought it was going to blow out Wonder Woman. I was super excited to see how the competition would make more women prominent in movies. Trash. It was trash. I still don't agree how he lost his eye. Whatever, we're over it. And then we have Homecoming. Let me tell you fucking something. Let me tell you fucking something, okay? Tom Holland, to me, is Spider-Man, okay? Yeah. Respect to Toby. Respect to Andrew, who paved the way. But Tom Holland in that movie was amazing. Michael Keaton as the Vulture?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. To be fair, there has not been a villain in Tom Holland Spider-Man's that didn't hit.
Yeah.
Name him. I'll wait. Hit. I mean, he came over, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you also had Mysterio. Mysterio is usually a C-list villain. They made him an A-list villain.
He's C or D.
Home is the weakest story for Spider-Man, honestly. But that villain hit, okay? Because they were trying to set up something. Arguably, Michael Keaton's Vulture versus Willem Dafoe.
Ooh.
No,
I still give it to William.
Defoe takes it. I'm sorry, Defoe takes it in that last Spidey movie.
I'm trying to be nice, but either way. And then he also had Tony Stark as well. Listen, it was amazing. It was amazing start to a great franchising series of Spider-Man that we needed. And arguably, it's Black Panther for me, number 1, Spider-Man number 2, and Thor Ragnarok number 3. Everything else falls in line. Those are the best movies from this phase. This phase for me gets an S because we had so many bangers. So Black Panther alone generated $1 billion, more than I think it's like the highest grossing movie of all time. Come on,
it's up.
What are we saying? What Drake said? What the fuck are we saying?
See, for me, I think Civil War was one of those movies that I was impressed with beyond all belief. Because if you're a fan of the comic book series, you know everything going up to Civil War and the amount of people that were heroes and villains going at it and fighting. And then they had a 6-on-6 that looked like it was a basketball court, but they put it at an airport. I was like, how is this going to work? They did an amazing job with each individual character getting their own moments to shine against other heroes and, stuff like that. They did a fantastic job with it.
Can I interrupt
everything Mayhem said, I cannot fault anything.
Where was Civil War? Civil War was phase 2, right?
No, it's the start of phase 3.
Winter Soldier was phase 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Phase 1, phase 3 was this. But this is where we get that. And then not to mention the iconic scenes of what we got in Endgame that paid back to the homage of Age of Ultron, where Cap went to lift the hammer.
Yes.
We all saw it. Damn well Thor saw it too, because he got, never mind. He grabbed that shit real quick. He was like, no, we got to keep that away from Cap forever. And then Endgame gets that scene where Thanos gets the back of the head and he pops his head back like someone's dad just knocked him upside the head. He turned around, he looked at Cap. He's got Mjolnir. He's got the shield.
Mm.
I'm sorry, bro. Like the world could have ended the next day. I was happy as a kid in freaking candy
Infinity
store.
War. Endgame. That was Endgame. So
Yeah.
I just want to add on real quick. That's one of the moments I was talking about, but I shut up because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. That's the second moment. Cap almost pulling Ragnarok and showing everybody that he's worthy. You know me. I didn't recognize that Civil War was part of Phase 3 because I'm looking at a list and it says Captain America 3. I forgot. Civil War is still technically a Captain America movie.
Yep.
Chris Evans, what the fuck are you doing? You know those checks don't hit outside of Marvel. Get your ass back in that suit and give us the Cap.
Look, that's why he played, spoiler alert, Johnny Storm. You got to get that Marvel check. And remember, Deadpool said he's killing our budget.
If you think about it, Captain America, between his 3 movies, they're probably 3 of arguably the best Marvel movies made. Literally 3 of the best. Winter Soldier, I think, is one of the best.
Right.
Then you add Civil War to that. It's like, damn. Like, Cap got it going on. Way better than Iron Man did. Iron Man's 3rd movie sucked. Cap's first movie was a little lax, but then he picked it up in 2 and 3 all day.
Agree.
All right,
it's
what's
an
next?
S. It's an S.
So I can't fault either one of you. That Phase 3 goes up there. Now let me go and grab something to just throw everybody off because that's the way I am, and that's where the fun lies. So I'm gonna go with something near and dear to my heart, and I'm not even the one that chose this, but we're gonna do Breaking and Breaking 2. Where do you put it?
Oh my god. Mayhem, go. I can't.
Breaking 2 was a phenomenal thing. I just want to talk about real quickly a little history lesson. In Hollywood was actually dying, and the only reason why Hollywood got back to where it is right now is because they stole from Black culture, Black
Blaxploitation.
There you go. I couldn't say the stupid thing. And movies like Breaking, which was a little more serious but fun. Also movies like I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. They stole from and they endorsed to use that to get people back into the movies. Breaking alone is a cultural phenomenon. Okay. You gotta, for me, it's a history thing. It's an S. Even if you don't like it, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it because this is something we need to see. You don't have to like it, but you'll see the impact it's had, and it is part of history. Excuse me. So it's an S for me personally.
Okay, Bergie.
On my TED Talks.
Yeah, I cannot argue with Mayhem, but for me, my personal list, it's a B, because like to me, growing up, I can't dance. I got 2.
I can't relate to this.
I got 2 left feet. Like I cannot dance. Like slow dancing is the max for me, man. That's where it's like, like in Hitch where he goes, "You're doing this is what I want you to do." I can't even do that.
Here. No, this is your house.
This is where you want me to be. This is where I can't. I screw this up sometimes. Like I look like Jesus. Are you having a seizure out there? So to me, watching this movie growing up, I love all dance movies. All dance movies to me are just absolutely amazing.
Yep.
But one of these, watching this in the break dancing and the cultural, I can agree with Mayhem. Like the cultural wise, of seeing that on this big screen for the first time ever in my life, living in Rhode Island where I'm not in New York, I don't see this street savvy, dancing and stuff like that. What it was, or in Rhode Island, we didn't have that stuff. Like this was not the culture that we had around here. So to see that on the big screen and get it, it was amazing. Like I like it. Oh, no doubt, definitely Caucasian feet.
Virgie is black from the waist down, but his feet are firmly Caucasian. Listen. Listen.
Facts.
We got to move forward because we're running out of time.
Yes.
But
So
breaking is a cultural phenomenon.
I'll put it at an A, so it's between B and S, because this is something that if you're curious about the hip hop culture, about Black culture, these are some movies that you have to watch. Yes, they can be cheesy, but if you want to get the serious side, watch Breakin', watch Beat Street, and then watch Breakin' 2. Watch the trilogy the way it was meant to be watched, and you'll understand the culture and the way that life was for minorities and people of color in the 80s.
Yes.
Because I've owned these movies so many different times. It's ridiculous. I've watched them so many times. It's ridiculous. I identify as Up Turbo all day, all night. So, yeah. Yes,
Drumline,
this
yes.
right there. We'll put it in the middle, right there at A between B and S.
All right, fair enough.
And now one that nobody likes. Tell me how you feel about Twilight.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, shit.
Yes, hear me out. Hear me out. I have yet to read a book, but for everybody who has read the book and saw the movies and said the books were way better, I don't think anything good that came out of this was Team Edward versus Team Jacob, werewolf team, and vampire team. So I'm giving it an F. I'm sorry, Team F. 100%, 500.
For me, Twilight is probably hands down one of the worst. To me, it's one of the worst franchises. The only reason I can actually give it a little bit of love, and this is only a little bit of love, is because my mother loved this movie, and when she was alive, I took her to see the movies. That's the only reason. Other than that, trash, garbage movies, sparkling freaking. I was like, come on. Lost Boys would be whooping their ass if they ever said it. Sparkling. Come on. Grandpa would have been like, nope, done. Nope. Like garbage. I'm sorry. And I have met a couple of the actors. They're actually wicked nice people, which even drives me way more crazy. But yeah, trash.
Listen, if you like it, you like it. But me personally, like Kevin said, he saw Twilight and he was happy. He was excited for the movie when everybody else was dying at the end. And then I was so disappointed in the movie because it was a stupid vision. I get it. You like it, you don't, you don't. But this for me, trash. Throw it away.
Okay, I've never I can honestly say I've never seen a single one of these movies nor read any of the books. So I will leave it where you guys have it. And now for our last one, we got to give a shout out to our host that is not with us. Gentlemen, Lord of the Rings, where does it go?
You know what?
This is all 6 movies.
All 6?
All 6.
Can we just do the first 3?
No, that's not what I was given.
If we're going all 6, to me, it's a B. Because just to me, like, it's not one of my top movies. Like, I've seen everyone in the movie theater. Like, I saw them all in the movie theater. I've watched the unedited versions of them and stuff like that. God bless me for watching 4.5 hours of each movie.
Yeah,
but to me, it's a B because of what Jackson accomplished with this. Like, damn, like he did something with these movies. He made these movies what they were. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if these movies would be so beloved.
Oh God, no! They'd probably be up there with the 1970s animated one, where it's nice and thank you for letting us have it. But
I think the special effects wise, with some other people that didn't put the love into it, would have been like what we would have gotten like the original Star Wars trilogies. So him and what he did with the technology at the time, and he hit it out of the park with these movies. So to me, it's a high B, low A, like that in a way, like
mayhem.
Okay, I'm gonna read this really quick. Kat said she didn't know she could break them down like that. Kev said he feel like the Lord of the Rings we would be an hour long if you cut out all the walking. Visually stunning regardless. Kev said it's like that scene in Clerks 2 when the guy talks about how bad Lord of the Rings was with the walking. Kat responded, it would have been 45 minutes if the Eagles weren't so high.
Facts, right there. Saying.
I think the first 3 are S tier. It's a great story. It's a great story. I think it's a really good fantasy story. It's a really great story. Visually stunning, as everybody says. Frodo got on my nerves at times, but that's just me. But then the Hobbit movies, the Smurfs didn't really move me. You know what I'm saying? The Smurfs didn't really move me. I'm going to go ahead and agree in that it was still a great movie and then put it in a B. High B, low A.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just me personally. And the only reason why is because we got 3 movies like that. If we got 1, maybe 2, I'd still put it as an A. If we got none of them, I would have put the first trilogy, the first 3 as an S. Because personally, I think they were amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with both of you. It is a high with all 6. It is a high B, low A series because you put the first 3 by themselves. Yeah, that's S all day. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it. The Hobbits. My only complaint with the Hobbits is with the second one when they had to shoehorn in the fan favorite characters from the original trilogy, and I'm like, Legolas is not in this book. Legolas is not in this book. And I had to get over that. I'm like, all right, cool. Fan favorites back. Oh, they're talking about Gimli. Of course they're talking my son Gimli. And I'm like, oh, really, really, guys.
Now we're also talking like this. Also with Smog, right? Smog was the
Yes.
third one, right? And now let's talk about Benedict Cumberbatch as Smog. Like, does anybody ever watch the video of him doing the Smog and around with the mocap?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Dude, he's crawling around that set like a madman, and just the faces he makes, and I'm like,
perfect. When I watched that after I saw the movie, I was like, damn, I didn't know that was him. I knew it was him in it, but I didn't know he did that type of method acting to get into it.
Yeah.
That's why I think we all saw that. Say Roger Jackson got them to a higher level than anybody else could have for acting.
Agreed. Sorry, she's
with us.
She agrees wholeheartedly.
Okay.
I see a lot of movies on the side there.
Don't worry about those.
No. I think
that's gonna be for part 2.
I was gonna say we have to do a part 2 of this either next week or the week after or something like that, because those look like some real good ones we need to really dive into.
Oh, yeah. Look, I
just call Robert Jackson for now, okay?
Was I saying it wrong? What's his name?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson. My bad. Jesus Christ.
We all know Peter Jackson is the face, but Roger Jackson is the bank, okay?
Yeah, there we go.
I'm thinking Roger Jackson because of Scream, because of I got him coming to one of my shows, and my mind is on Roger Jackson's Scream and stuff like that. My bad.
Nope.
My bad.
Okay. So what I'll do is I will save our list so far. And next time we do this, we'll let Kat give her input on the ones that we've got there. And then the 4 of us can just run through this list and we'll get as far as we can next time. And we might have to do a part 3 because we can just keep adding franchises to this.
Well, there's a lot of franchises on there. We got through 10 of them in 30 minutes between 3 of us. Imagine 4 of us. How are we going to get 5? Kat, we miss you.
Big shout out. We definitely miss you, Kat. Big shout out to Hugo. He told me to change my name. You guys may see it as Mike 45% regular. I was on I was on a Nerds and Around last night. Big shout out to Sebastian, Law, Tone from across the hall, Val, and of course Hugo Pong. And we were talking about anime with Deco, My Hero Academia. And Val just found out, spoiler alert, that not really, but Deku does not master 100% of his strength. He only goes up to like 45%. And she was like, it's been 7 seasons.
That's a lot of power. There's 8 other people's power inside of him.
I wish I'd known you'd done My Hero yesterday. I would have been all over that. Oh,
definitely check it out. No, it was a really great episode. We were all over the place. We were cracking jokes on anime. It was amazing. But that's why, out of respect for Hugo and of obviously the show Nerds Around, shout out to them. Go watch them every Tuesday at 9:00. Mike 45% regular because I spent 7 seasons being regular. Oh my goodness, this was amazing. We definitely got to do this some next week for sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, all right. Well, I've got the list.
Scream. I don't know if it's on the list yet. We added, so just to let everybody know real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Reg. We added a whole bunch of franchises and we gave it to the gentleman, as you know, as Reginald. He knows everything. So I don't know if it's on the list. It might be. You got to tune in, but we didn't do it yet. So I don't know if he's even on the list. Got to add 50 Shades movie? No, they're all Fs.
I felt
Reggie. 45% Reg as Reggie, not regular, but that's true too.
That's what I thought it was. I'm like, he's 45%
you know what's crazy?
me, 55, 65% you. Okay, whatever.
So you know what's crazy though? Real quick before we go. So we have Law on the show. He's another Puerto Rican black man, right? He identifies as Puerto Rican. He's also black, right? Why did Sebastian go Law number 2? And I was just like, what?
What? No. Your heritage comes from
I feel like I'm Dominican. I'm Dominican nation. No,
are you from an island?
No.
So the Dominican Republic and Haiti are not history lesson.
Did I bring it?
So wish I had
those are islands. Islands. Your heritage is
you're an island boy. An island boy.
Next week we'll do a history lesson.
Island boy.
Because we do have to end the show. One good moment from the week? I'm gonna start with Virginal.
For me?
Yes, Virginal.
Oh shit, my bad. Geez, damn man, I don't know. My weekend was pretty
What about
low-key.
Manhattan? Island boy from Manhattan. That's right.
I think one good thing for me was I watched Deadpool again this weekend.
Yes.
I had to go see it again. It was so good.
Oh, okay.
That's me.
Reginald.
For me, it is the new season of Apex. It's starting off good. It's undone a lot of the bad things that pissed me off about the previous season.
New map,
But
right?
they still have some issues going on. But I'm gonna give it, like my 2-week trial period to make sure everything gets fixed. I don't think everything's gonna get fixed, but they've got a lot of things fixed, so I can enjoy because literally what the end of last season got done with so many cheese. I'm on console and I literally recorded clips of watching people shoot at me, not point at me, and all their bullets just going to where I'm standing. Like, I'm on console. How are you doing this?
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
PC.
I
I think they came out
yes,
with a new map.
yes.
Dead by Daylight came out with Dracula.
and 2 versus 8.
Oh, nice. 2 versus 8, and then they also got what's the guy that goes after Dracula all the time? I forget his name now.
Van Helsing.
No, the other guy, Belmont, Richard Belmont.
Oh, you meant video game wise? Yeah, the Belmonts.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they got him.
Van Helsing.
No, I mean, yeah, him too. So, which is crazy. Did Belmont and Van Helsing ever cross over?
No, technically they're the same
Person,
people
right?
with different names. It depends on the lore. So Van Helsing is standard German vampire lore, and Belmonts are video game anime lore.
Gotcha. Thank you for clearing that up.
You're
Ladies
welcome.
and gentlemen, as you can tell, my daughter is telling me that it's time to get off. Jody, do you want to say anything? Yeah, what do you want to say? Go ahead. Amazing. This has been the 4-letter nerd, the Hyrule Geeks Unlimited production. My daughter is trying to take my race car. Shout out to the Ford GT90 that I'll never have just yet. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, wrong button. That button.
Oh,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
A big shout out. Love this supercar. You see her eyes on it? You see? No. Until next week, folks, when we have a cat, this has been 4-letter nerd. Peace, people.